The first 30 days is going to determine the next 5 years. So it's not a time to waste. We've seen this in Michel's administration, right? He ran around with his little wedding paper handbook of beyond 2017 in the first 30 days, glorifying his victory. And then he ruined the next 5 years for us. First 30 days has to be systematic. Number one, we need money. We need a lot of money. And there's a lot of unpaid dues that are due to the people of Seychelles. Sheikh Khalifa, we're going to send him a tax bill for $280 million. We're going to take that money, we're going to pay off our commercial debts by more than 50%. We'll reschedule our loans, and we'll put Seychelles' credit rating back on proper footing so it can borrow more money to develop Seychelles further at a reasonable rate. Number two, Madame Bettencourt in France, she's done an illegal transaction for Daros, violating the Movable Properties Restrictions Act. Daros has to be reevaluated at fair market value today, and then we need to give her a tax bill for that. With that money, we'll clear off all the remaining debts of Seychelles overseas. That is doable because we're dealing with the richest woman in Paris. But the government of Seychelles under James Michel is hiding that fact that it is doable simply because they want to make another under-the-table deal with somebody that owes Seychelles money, and that is just not on. Secondly, under our Credo Racinist Creed of Mouvement Seychellois Racine, we must deal with the illegal citizens of Seychelles. All the people who've been granted citizenship to Seychelles who live in Hong Kong must have their passports canceled and revoked by due process of law. There's about 2,700 of them. Following that, we need to form a committee that will look into fraudulent passports. And they will comb the list of all Seychelles citizens and will make a determination using due process, court process, to revoke passports. After we've done that, we have to go directly back to IMF and the Paris Club. The IMF and the Paris Club right now could be writing off all the existing debts of Seychelles if Seychelles would simply admit that it is not a medium developed country per capita, but is in fact a lesser developed country, which it is under the SPPF. But the SPPF have been too ashamed to admit that they've failed. So we will go to the Paris Club and we will tell them SPPF has failed and Seychelles is in fact a lesser developed country and therefore is entitled to 100% debt forgiveness of all existing debts Seychelles has with the Paris Club. This will wipe out all our debts with the Paris Club, put us back on proper footing with our European friends. Once we've established the trail for the clean slate, then Seychelles can get back to restructuring proper economic development plans for the country. Right now we have no 5-year development plan for tourism. We have no 5-year development plan for fishing industry. We have no 5-year development plan for the offshore industry. We have no 5-year development plan for infrastructure at PUC that is feasible and implementable. We have no development plan for our roads. Basically, the SPPF and the PP have been shooting by the hip every step of the way. They've been managing one crisis after another as they arise. They have no plans. We need to set the plans and set the professionals to work on the plans and implement them. And that'll carry us out for the next 5 years. In tourism, we need to give Seychelles a primordial place in tourism and not stack Seychelles with branded companies and branded hotels. We need to draw the line. In fishing, we need to get money to Seychelles fishermen, not so that they can go buy hooks, but so they can go buy boats. And not so that they can pull every fish out of the water, but they can hire foreigners to help them and make money. The bottom line is to increase Seychelles per capita, not to work us to death. And in the offshore sector, we need to get rid of all the criminal elements in the offshore business. That includes criminally oriented lawyers, criminally oriented offshore registration companies, and set Seychelles on the right footing with a clean slate. What other industries are there? On Eden Island, I have only one thing to say. Yes to residency for your new buyers, no to citizenship. We have to draw the line at Eden Island. We cannot allow every person who buys a house on Eden Island to eventually become a citizen. Seychelles is our country. We're drawing the line. It doesn't belong to anyone who buys an apartment on Eden Island. It never did, and it never will. If you buy your apartment on Eden Island, you're welcome to stay, come and go as you wish, but you are not a Seychelles citizen. Any other industries?